Hello, everyone, and welcome back to SpeakPowerDaily. I am Charlotte, and I am so happy to be here with you today. Thank you for joining me for another episode where we practice English together in a simple, fun, and natural way. Today's topic is one that I am sure you will enjoy because it is something we all love and we all share. Food. Food is not only about eating. It is about culture, family, friends, traditions, and even funny stories. When we talk about food, we also talk about memories, feelings, and moments in life that make us smile. In this episode, we are going to explore different sides of food. We will talk about favorite meals, about cooking at home, about eating with friends, and about some tasty memories that stay with us forever. I will also share a personal story with you about a cooking experience that did not go exactly as planned, but turned into a funny and unforgettable memory. Food is something that connects us all. No matter where you come from, no matter what language you speak, everyone has a favorite dish and a story about food. And while we talk about these things today, you will be practicing your English listening skills, learning useful expressions, and enjoying a natural conversation. So, get comfortable. Maybe even grab a cup of tea or coffee, and let us start this delicious journey together. When I think about food, the first thing that comes to mind is comfort. Food has the power to make us feel safe, happy, and even nostalgic. For example, when I was a child, my family often prepared homemade soup on Sundays. The smell of the vegetables, the warmth of the broth, and the way we all sat around the table made it more than just a meal. It was a ritual, a moment when we could slow down and enjoy time together. Everyone has their own favorite meals. Some people love something sweet, like a slice of chocolate cake, while others prefer something salty, like a pizza with lots of toppings. Personally, I enjoy both. Sometimes after a long day, a piece of cake feels like a reward. Other times, a simple homemade pasta dish with fresh tomato sauce feels like pure comfort. Cooking is another interesting part of food. Some people love cooking, while others find it difficult or even stressful. For me, cooking is a mix of both. I enjoy experimenting with recipes and trying new flavors, but sometimes things do not go as planned. Still, I believe that cooking is an act of creativity and love. When you prepare something with your own hands and share it with others, it becomes more meaningful. And of course, food is not only about cooking or eating alone. It is also about sharing. Have you ever noticed how meals with friends or family often become memories that stay with us for years? For example, a birthday dinner, a picnic in the park, or even a simple evening cooking together with someone special. These experiences turn ordinary meals into extraordinary moments. Food also tells stories about culture. Every country, every city, and sometimes even every family has traditional dishes that carry history and meaning. When you try food from another culture, you are not only tasting new flavors, you are also learning about traditions, about the way people live and celebrate. That is why food is a universal language. In my own life, some of my best memories are connected to food. Laughing with friends while eating something delicious, celebrating with family around a big table, or discovering new tastes while traveling. These are moments that stay in your heart. Now, let me share with you a personal story. It is one of those cooking experiences that did not turn out as expected, but later became a memory that still makes me smile. A few years ago, I decided to cook a special dinner for some friends. I wanted to prepare something impressive, something that would make everyone say, "Wow, Charlotte, this is amazing." After thinking for a while, I chose to make homemade lasagna. I had never cooked lasagna before, but I thought, how difficult can it be? It is just pasta, cheese, and sauce, right? So I went shopping, bought all the ingredients, and started cooking in the afternoon. At first, everything seemed fine. I prepared the sauce with tomatoes, garlic, and herbs. I layered the pasta sheets, the cheese, and the sauce carefully, like a professional chef. I was so proud of myself. But then, things started to go wrong. First, I realized I had forgotten to boil the pasta sheets before putting them in the oven. I thought, maybe the sauce will make them soft enough. But unfortunately, when I took the lasagna out of the oven, the pasta was still hard and crunchy. It was almost impossible to cut. As if that was not enough, I also miscalculated the cooking time. I left the lasagna in the oven too long, and the top layer of cheese turned almost black. When my friends arrived, the kitchen was full of smoke, and I was standing there with an overcooked burnt lasagna that looked more like a piece of charcoal than a meal. At first, I felt embarrassed. I had promised a wonderful dinner, and instead, I served something that was barely edible. But then something unexpected happened. My friends started laughing. They said, "Do not worry, Charlotte. It is the thought that counts." We cut the lasagna, even if it was hard as a rock, and tried to eat it together. It was not delicious, but the situation was so funny that we all ended up laughing more than eating. That night, I learned something important. Food is not always about perfection. Sometimes even a cooking disaster can turn into a beautiful memory when it is shared with the right people. To this day, my friends still joke about Charlotte's famous burnt lasagna. And honestly, I would not change that memory for anything. After that lasagna disaster, I started thinking more deeply about the role food plays in our lives. It is not only about taste or about following a recipe correctly. It is about the emotions that food can create. For example, I remember one summer when I traveled with friends to the countryside. We did not have fancy restaurants or professional chefs around us. Instead, we cooked simple meals together over a fire. We roasted vegetables, grilled some meat, and even toasted bread on sticks like marshmallows. The food itself was very simple, but the laughter, the music, and the feeling of being outdoors made it unforgettable. Another memory that stands out for me is from a family gathering during the holidays. Everyone in my family brought a dish. The table was full of different flavors and colors: rice, salads, pies, and cakes. What made it special was not just the food, but the fact that each dish carried someone's effort and love. Every bite was like tasting a little piece of someone's heart. When I look back at these moments, I realize that food has the power to connect us in a way that very few things can. It gives us reasons to sit down, to pause, and to truly share time with others. Even when the food is not perfect, like my burnt lasagna, it can still bring joy, because the real flavor comes from the company, the laughter, and the stories we tell around the table. This is why I believe food is a universal language. You do not need to speak the same words to share a meal. You just need to sit down, pass the plate, and enjoy. And that simple act can build friendships, strengthen families, and create memories that last forever. As we come to the end of today's episode, I hope you enjoyed this journey into the world of food, cooking, and tasty memories. Food is more than just something we eat. It connects us to our families, our friends, our cultures, and even to ourselves. Every dish tells a story, whether it is a traditional recipe passed down through generations, a meal shared with people we love, or even a funny kitchen disaster that becomes a memory we will never forget. Remember, cooking does not have to be perfect. What truly matters is the love and the joy we put into it. Sharing food, even something simple, can create unforgettable moments. And sometimes, the best memories come not from perfect meals, but from the laughter and connection we share around the table.